Hi, I'm Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK. I am coming on to recreate this card. It was one of the cards that we made in my February card classes, and I shared it on Facebook and Instagram recently and was asked if I'd do a tutorial. It's called a twisted easel card. So you've seen the normal easel cards. I was trying to see if I had an example, but this is just a variation of that. It's very simple. It just means that it kind of twists up. You've got a little bit of a diagonal. This was the card that I made in class. This was a card that I recorded, but the video got corrupted. So I did this at the weekend, this one. Same thing. I'm going to try another take today, but I have used, for the books, which is a bundle. I've only used the stamp set now. This is actually on the last chance product list. So there's links to my shops, my Stampin' Up shop. I would go and check that out. I have used Happy Birthday from Beach Day. I think again this is in the last chance. And then the only other sentiment I've used is from one of my retired, I've used another year. This is retired celebration set. I have used the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder, and then a couple of the nested essential dies. I've done a lot of the stamping and cutting ahead of time to make this quick. But I'll create the base so that you can see how it's done. I've got a sheet here of, this is a smoky slate, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 inches by 10 inches. Hopefully there we are, that's in camera there. So 5 by 10, and then I'm going to score it at 5, and that gives you your base. And then you need to score from the top right hand corner to this central score line. So that's quite easy in our trimmers because we've got a lovely base, a lovely scoring track. So I'm going to pop both of those points in the track, and I'm going to come up from this end. There we go. And then that folds up to create our base. So let me get my scoring tool, and I'm just going to reinforce those. Now my blade I need a new blade in my trimmer, so it gives a little bit of a fuzzy edge. So I'm just going to go over those cut areas with my scoring tool, and it actually takes all those fuzzies away, hopefully. If not, you can just trim them off. I'm going to reinforce that middle score line with my bone folder, and then go over this one as well, and it just helps that sit up a little bit nicer. You can see that it's a little bit floppy. That needs weighing down with the front of the card. I've already embossed this layer, and this is 5 by 5, so that will get stuck straight on that base. And we just want to put glue on this right hand triangle, have shared cards like this before, but I'm not sure I've actually done a video. I will check out my archive and put links to previous projects. That sits on that perfectly, and I'm just going to turn that over and rub that. There we go. Make sure that's properly adhered. Now on the inside, I like, because this has got going to have extra weight in it, I like to also put the same kind of weight on the inside. So I've got an extra layer that's cut at 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and I'm just going to pop that on the inside. A little bit of glue there to hold that in place, and that just gives that a little bit of extra weight. Now I did this originally in the very vanilla, and I wanted the extra weight because it was the thin, but actually you probably don't need to do that on the slightly thicker card that we've got here. Pop that off to one side, and now I'm going to make, I'm using some Country Woods for all of the cards. I've used some of the Country Woods 12 by 12 designer series paper, 3.5 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to just turn that on its back. I've got some more fuzzy bits there. I'll have to find a new blade for my trimmer. So you'll see that I've taken out, I used 2 of the Nested Essentials, and I've taken out the center, and then out of that center at the same time I have cut a smaller bit. That's going to be for the inside, the stopper, and then I'm going to create a shelf. So I'm using my grid paper just so that I can find a sort of central bit, and this shelf is about 1/4 inch by just under 3.5, 3.25. I'm going to pop that in place just with some tear and tape. Very simple there. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop my shelf up. And I've just got some minis. You could use whatever you've got. I haven't been on here for a while. Since my last video, I've been to On Stage in Strasbourg, which was great fun. It doesn't like sticking on there, so I'm going to make that sticky. Yes, I attended our annual conference and it was fabulous. I went with my larger team. I'm a starfish, so I'm part of Emma Goddard's team. And then I shared a room with my stamping sister, Heather Thomas, who's the AKA Songbird Stamper. And she had quite a lot of her team, some of whom I didn't know very well. So they all went, and it was great fun. So just pop that on there, trying to make it straight. That will do. And ahead of time, rather than you watching me stamp and colour, if I can find what I've done with them. Oh, there we are, hiding them with the the ink, I have already stamped and coloured the images that I want. So to get the sentiment that I wanted, I did a bit of masking. So in here you just mask off that section and then stamp the words. So I've got another year for the books, so I'm going to just do exactly the same as I did before. Pop that on there. Pop a dimensional on the back of the big book stack, because that's gives that having trouble talking, coordinating. Now what I should have done there is held the shelf up. Where's my stamping? Very disorganized today. I know you can't imagine that, can you? There's the cat. There's my take your pick tool. That can go under there, and just prop that up for a minute so that you haven't got a saggy shelf, because I'm going to put all of these up on dimensionals as well. So that one is going to go there. It's going to fall over there. There we go. We've got these in that corner, and they can lay down. There we go. Right, I'm going to put another little stamping dimensional on the end of both of those words. I'm just going to trim that because I've cut that quite close. There we go. That one is going to go there. Take those backings off. Come on, glue. So that one is going to go there. Go there, and then the inside, so the only thing we're going to stamp on the inside is a pair of the spectacles. So I want those down there because I think they're really cute. And then we're going to pop these up. This is going to be the stopper to stop that from to sort of anchor that top bit in place, and I'm going to use some of the sides on the back of there. just going to hold that up just because I want it at the right angle. There we go. And it's just coming off that edge there. And then I'm just going to lay the words down flat. That's rather cute. And then I've got some of these, I'm not sure whether these are still current. Neutrals adhesive backed sequins. And because we've gone grey this time, I'm going to use them. Let's do that and that, because it's quite a masculine card, isn't it? Really. Or it could, ideal for a masculine card. Anyway, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this one will be successful. I've got lots of ideas for doing other versions of these. If you have a go, I'd love you to share them with me online. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back with my swap that I did for on stage, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.